On this video, we're going to talk about the 5 biggest mistakes that entrepreneurs make in the beginning of their career or if they're just struggling as entrepreneurs. And the more that you know about these mistakes, it's going to be so much easier for you to avoid them with accuracy. Now, you're going to want to stay until the end because the 5th one is probably the most important one. So let's jump into it. If you're new here, my name is Dedeyan, and the goal of this channel is to optimize people who want to perform, to get them from where they are to where they want to be. Because we thoroughly believe the only difference between both of those points is acquiring the knowledge you need and consistently utilizing that knowledge to become a peak performer. So if that is you, don't hesitate at all to give me one of these, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the bell notification. So what's the first mistake that entrepreneurs make? Is they do not take the time to look at their limiting beliefs. Now, when it comes to limiting beliefs, everybody on this planet has limiting beliefs. I don't care who you are as a person, you have limiting beliefs. And some of these limiting beliefs have been given to you for years and years, from when you were a little kid to when you're an adult. And these limiting beliefs can be actually subconsciously within you, or consciously you're aware of it. Now, these limiting beliefs when it comes to an entrepreneur could be anything that endouses a bit more of fear or doubt, such as, oh my God, am I good enough? Oh my God, I can't do this. Oh my God, there's too many people already in the marketplace with the industry that I'm going in. So as an entrepreneur, you have to break apart these limiting beliefs. That's the number one thing. Because if you have these limiting beliefs, it's always gonna essentially stop you and really slow you down from really becoming the great entrepreneur that you should be. So number one thing is look at your limiting beliefs, break them apart, because the reality of the matter is they're not true. The second biggest mistakes that entrepreneurs make is a lack of strategic planning. So if you plan to fail, you fail to plan. Benjamin Franklin. Now I love that quote because it explains it within that. If you're somebody that is just trying things left and right, throwing things on the wall and seeing what's gonna stick, you're not gonna be essentially successful with that. It's almost impossible, especially as an entrepreneur. Nowadays, it's extremely competitive and it's only getting more and more competitive. So for you to stand out, for you to peak and become a top performing individual within your industry, you're gonna have to put a plan into place and make that plan into reality. Now, the second part in this is that, okay, it's pretty easy to put a goal, right? And you could even put like a high goal, which is perfectly okay. Where people fail within putting a goal is they don't break it apart in manageable steps. Angela Duckworth explains in her book, The Grit, that there should be 3 levels of goals. The first one should be your top goal, which is, let's say, imagine you want to be an NBA player. That's your top goal. The second layer should be your mid goals, and then it should be the low level goals. Now, these are like stepping stones. So when it comes to, imagine this example, if you want to be a basketball player, let's say your top goal is exactly that. I want to be a basketball player. So that means, I don't know, I have to be doing X, Y, and Z every single day, or I have to be making a team. So your mid-tier goal could be like, hey, let me make my squad, my high school team, whatever the case, let me be a starter within that. And the low-tier goals is something that you should be doing every single day. So if I want to be a basketball player, that means I have to take 1,000 shots per day. That's the goal that you put. So once you break it about in manageable steps, it's so much easier for you to really get to that goal, because the reality of the matter is you can't necessarily control if you're going to become an NBA player. What you can control is what you need to do every single day to become a better basketball player. Now, this example is exactly true for an entrepreneur as well. Let's say you want to make $1 million in your year. So you're a salesman, right? And then from there, you're like, okay, for that to happen, I have to make X number of sales. For that to happen, I have to speak to X number of people. And then you break that down to how many people you need to speak to every single day that could give you a chance to earn $1 million. So that's the way to go about it. So you have to structure a plan, put it in place, and then consistently do it on a daily basis. So the third biggest mistakes that entrepreneurs make is a lack of action or a lack of consistent action. Now, so far, we looked at our limiting beliefs, we broke that apart, we stated and prepared a business plan or a structure for your success. Now, the third part is, are you actually putting in the work that you need to do to succeed? Because we put it in play, it's so easy to put it down and like, this is what I need to do, like previously stated, every single day. But are you actually doing it? Are you taking massive action and are you consistent on it? This is probably one of the biggest ones that's gonna move the needle for you to become successful, to earn more money, to create more impact. It's the consistency. I've always said, I'd rather have anybody give me a 8 on 10 or a 7 on 10 consistently than somebody that's giving me a 10 on 10 and then a couple days they're like 0 and then it goes back to 10. It's like inconsistency. consistency is the name of the game. So prepare your plan and consistently put it into action every single day. The fourth biggest mistakes that entrepreneurs make is a lack of leverage. Now, what do we mean when we say lack of leverage? That means what is your why? Is it something that's passionate for you? Is there an actual mission statement that encourages you to go forward? Now, Simon Sinek explained this very eloquently in his TED Talk and his book, Start With Why. Because the reality of the matter is, if you're starting a business or you're doing something that you're not passionate about, you're not gonna succeed. Because if you're picking something for vanity reasons or for money reasons and that's it, that's all, you're gonna fail at it. I don't care what anybody tells you, entrepreneurship is difficult. Now, that being said, it's extremely simple once you are doing something you love, because that love and that passion is going to keep you going forward and consistently doing the work. Essentially, what you should do is going to switch into what you must do. And when that happens, because you're passionate about something, you're going to start succeeding at such a high level. So ask yourself, what is your why? And is that a leverage enough for you to continue going forward when it's difficult? Because it's after passing that period that you're going to become extremely successful. The fifth biggest mistake that entrepreneurs make is a lack of accountability. Now, in the beginning of the video, I said that this is probably the most important one, and I thoroughly believe it. Now, when we talk about a lack of accountability, is that you do not have somebody within your corner towards it's a coach, a mentor, a accountability partner that is encouraging you and helping you and restructuring certain things of yours to succeed. Because the reality of the matter is, if you do not have a coach or anybody else we just stated that is keeping your feet to the fire, you are just not going to succeed at the level that you could potentially succeed right now in this moment. Because the reality is, as an entrepreneur, it's a very lonely route, direction, journey, let's call it. Even if you are a part of a big company and you are an entrepreneur and you might be the boss or whatever the case is, it still is very lonely because you're probably on top or whatever the case is, and you don't necessarily have somebody to run ideas off on the same level as you. That is why when you have somebody that is challenging you to be better every single day and has a different perspective than yours, it helps you so much more. So I thoroughly believe, and this is where I saw my life really take another direction as an entrepreneur, is when I got accountability partners and more specifically coaches. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned about the 5 biggest mistakes that entrepreneurs make, and now you know what not to do or to do differently to succeed as an entrepreneur. So the question of the day is, what is the biggest mistake you have made as an entrepreneur? For me, the mistake that really comes about every single time is I always assume or think that things are going to be easier than they actually are, or it takes a lot longer than I previously stated. So that's mine. Comment down below what's going to be yours. I would love to hear about it and learn about that aspect as well. Furthermore, there's some videos over here that could interest you that I've previously done. You guys could go check that out. And there's this big profile picture over here you guys could click, and that's going to make you subscribe and join the family. It'll be a pleasure to have you part of the community. And that being said, I hope you guys have a great day and a blessed and grateful life.